Hi there, my name is Bruno. I'm a DJ and producer, also label manager, based in Berlin and originally from Spain. On the past 20 years, I have been in touch with a lot of DJ gear, and that's why today I would like to present you, in collaboration with Jazz Music, the RANE ONE MIDI controller. So let's get started. So for today I bring you the beautiful RANE ONE. This is a really nice DJ controller that has motorized decks, and actually it's really cool for those that wants to play music, like doing some scratching on it, as you can see. We will talk, of course, about the DJ mixer, which has some section for the effects, the built-in effects that are in Serato, and you can control from here from the hardware with some really nice joystick for that. Then we have the section from the performance pads that we will see more in detail later on. Of course, the loop section, and we will talk about all of this front panel where you can control the different parameters of the crossfader or line faders, even the microphones, and the back part where you have all the connections for the cables. So today I'm going to show you this little beauty, the RANE ONE. This is actually a MIDI controller that comes with motorized decks, perfect for those ones who want to scratch or do some turntabling techniques on it. We can show you. Really likely example of it. And this came as a combination of those two also beauties that I have behind of me. This is the RANE 70. Okay, this is a previous DJ mixer released by RANE, which actually has been kind of, let's say, compressed on this new DJ controller, because you can find pretty much all the features that you have here, just in different disposition. And then we have the 12 MK2, okay, pretty heavy here, which would be the second member of the family. I mean, if there's a different, of course, is that this one, I mean, in the RANE ONE you have the turntables in 7 inches, so in smaller version would make it more compact. It's also not that heavy for a portable MIDI controller. So it's a perfect balance between having a professional MIDI controller and still being able to carry on with you. Okay, so now we're going to have a quick look on the decks. These are actually motorized, as I mentioned before, and they're really cool. They have done in RANE a really good work with it. Actually, it feels like a real turntable. When you touch them, it's really hard feeling. When you try to stop them and you want to push them forward, it's the same thing. You can actually also set here on the back part how hard or how soft you want this to be, the torque. Another important point would be, for example, this touch script here on the top part that allows you to, let me go back to the track, allows you to search within the track in which point you are looking for, okay? Obviously, because even if it feels like real turntable, we don't have a needle that we can put on the top of it in order to do that. Another important thing to point out is the stop time knob, that you can set if you want to do it like stop slowly, okay, or if you want to make it stop very fast, okay. And the last feature I would like to talk to you about is the reverse option. So you just need to hold the shift button, click on reverse, and it will go backwards, okay? Cool. So now I'm gonna show you more in detail the central part of the RANE ONE DA controller, where we can find the DA mixer. It is basically and essentially based on the RANE 70 that I introduced to you before. It has pretty much everything that you need, but in a compact format. So first thing that we find, let's go back to the beginning of the track. Here we go. It's the 3-band equalizer, which is basically acting as a isolator. You see? Okay. If we kill the sound in the different frequencies, it will completely disappear. So another thing that we find is also the built-in filter that can be used as a low-pass filter or as a high-pass filter. Okay. This one, it's good because you can usually actually independently, if you want to use it on these decks, or if you use this one, it will affect to the other decks. When we go to the section of the built-in effects of Serato, actually we find something very interesting. You can select the different effects independently, or you can combine them. You can say, okay, now I'm gonna use, for example, FX1, which in this case is an echo, with FX4, which is a pan delay. And let's see what happens when we activate the joystick. Okay. Let's have another try. For example, echo with phaser. Okay. Important to mention also the way these joysticks are working. If you go down, you will need to hold it. If you go up, it will hold it itself, okay? What I'm doing by touching this blue knob here is that I'm applying more or depth or less depth to the effect, and I can even control the beat on it, no? So if I want to, for example, apply this effect in 4 beats, 2 beats, 1 beat, half of a beat, a fourth of a beat, okay? Yeah, so also important to point out the low part of the DJ mixer where we find the crossfader. As you can see, there is not that much things in between, no? You can play, there's a lot of room here to play with it, so it gives a lot of space for those that wants to use scratching at the same time that they use like the crossfader on it. So now we're gonna have a more detailed look on the performance path section. Well, what is important to point out first is that, of course, the quality of RANE in this performance path section is really good. I mean, they feel really like professional pads, very rubbery. You don't need to, I mean, it's not like cheap plastic, it's good quality ones. And also, you can, they were really clever in the way they had set the different sections of it. You can click here in the hot cue, so you can have your different cue points set, okay, and you can jump from one to another. You can go to the save loop section where you can save actually the loops that you want to have in your track, and also a roll effect on it. Okay, let's press play and see how it works. If you hold the pad, it will repeat, okay? And if you go to the second layer of this button, of the roll button, you will be able to create an automatically roll up effect on it, you see? You just click once and it's repeatedly playing until you play again on that pad to escape from that effect. On the sample button, we can just store our different samplers, and we have at the end a slicer also section, okay? So now we're gonna have a look on the back part of the MIDI controller. We start from the power button, so this is to switch on and off, of course. Then we have also power connection. If we go more to this section, we can find the motor torque. I mentioned this before. This is to actually set how hard or how soft you want the feeling of your turntable to be. Okay. We can also get, this is really important actually, you have two connections from USB, which means that you can have two DJs playing back to back, and they can be connected in different USB, with a different USB, and also it's very easy for transition between one DJ to another. No? We have an XLR output connection, so this is actually for the DJ booth, and then for the main output, same XLR balance output connection. So then we have also a master output, in this case is RCA, so unbalanced, and then we have also inputs for decks 1 and 2, so you can connect external turntables and with the ground connection. Also, it's also interesting that you can select if you want to connect something that's in phono or line. Another thing that we find is another input for an external or auxiliary device, and at the end we can see also two input microphone connections, micro 1, micro 2. Now we're gonna have a look on the front part. Let me just turn around this thing. Here we go. So here we find two types of connections for the headphones. One would be like normal jack or mini jack, which is also very good when you play back to back, because each DJ can be connected to each connection. Here we can control the Q level and the Q mix of headphones. Okay, if you want to have a split headphones, you can also use the selector on the front part. With this knob here, we can control the sensitivity of the crossfader, so if it goes more slow, or if it goes faster, and you can activate also the reverse function. Same thing here, this time is for the line faders. Yeah, so you can have you can adjust it depending on your needs, and you can also again activate the reverse function depending on which decks you want to this be applied for. So furthermore, we can find also here to control the level of the volume of the microphone 2 in this case. Also you can adjust the frequencies if it's lower or if it's higher, and the same, exactly the same thing for microphone 1. Okay. And now I'm gonna give you my personal conclusions about the RANE ONE. I think that's a perfect, to be honest, balance between a professional MIDI controller but also portable. We have seen other models of MIDI controllers, for example with Numar, with the NS7, that were also portable, but from my point of view, way more heavier, like I would say 5 more kilos compared to this one. And also the quality of the materials were not the same. So I will definitely go for something like the RANE ONE if you want to have a portable and professional DJ controller. If you want to see how this little beauty is performing with a DJ that is more like scratching DJ, you can find a link below, okay, underneath on the description, and you can see how the RANE ONE works. So finally, if you had fun watching this review, please don't forget to like, share, follow and subscribe to our channel to support us.